Okay, so we're going to be talking about the orbs because that is definitely going to be important, especially for a lot of people. So people are seeing them in Arizona, New Jersey. Two people, Christina Bruno or Bruni, went to New Jersey, and she said what I said earlier today in the morning. Actually, I had a live, which I'm going to upload. And in the live, I said that if it gives you anxiety, if it makes you afraid, it's not real. Meaning, it's not angels, it's not good. So when your heart feels light, when you start getting emotional in a good way, it's so incredibly moving that you tear up or you start sobbing. It's divine. It's real. We're being manipulated on multiple levels. I saw Trump being interviewed briefly, and he looked so fucking annoyed because he said this about the drones. They know which garage they're parked in, and they know which garage they'll be returning to, rolling his eyes, okay? So the drones are not out of space, Anunnakis or whatever the hell people are saying. But the orbs, if they've now let's concentrate about the orbs. So there are two things that are going to be colliding in this debacle. One is let's concentrate about the orbs. So there are two things that are going to be colliding in this debacle. One is we really are having divine sources coming in for our ascensions to help us, because listen, the 1% fucked up. You understand? They really, really fucked up. Their greed got too crazy. So there are divine celestial energies coming to assist in our ascension. However, we can't ignore Project Bluebeam. We cannot and should not. So the way you're going to discern orbs is the following. It's how Joan of Arc discerned her voices, how men followed her discerning that she wasn't full of shit and she was lying, how the young girls that saw at Lourdes, I don't know how to say it in an American accent, but it's called Lourdes, Lourdes, Lourds. I think it was the late 1920s or 30s. It could have been the 40s. I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago. And for a while, they saw the Mother Mary in the sky, and others saw it too. And it was a real apparition. And it was very emotional. Very emotional. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, Ganeshas were being given milk. The CNN did a spot on that. And for 48 hours, Ganeshas were drinking. They were running out of milk in India. They were running out of milk all over the temples, all over the world. It was a phenomenon that no one will touch anymore. No one's talking about it. It's the weirdest thing. However, everyone remembers that story that's Hindu or, practices the Hindu religion. But they remember that. The entire globe was running out of milk, and there was no back door, no weird thing, no sleight of hand. It was fucking the late 80s. No, trust me. Anyway, so now what we have to understand is there's technologies that the government has not been honest about. And so discernment, your heart frequency is going to be your best friend. And so what you feel coming at you is more important than what you see with your eyes. In fact, rather than look at it, feel it. Close your eyes and feel it. What is it? How does it feel to you? How does your body react to it? And relax. Like, don't freak the fuck out. In fact, the most dangerous thing you can do is to panic. No matter what. And I feel as if many of the content creators are really trying to get people to panic. Like they're scared. Like there's something they can't explain. So they're scared. Now, the nice thing about some of us, right, is that we've seen some pretty wild shit in our growth during this particular incarnation. A lot of us have seen what you would call crazy shit. But So this is massive. Don't get me wrong, because we've seen micro experiences of that. Like I had said a few, 3-4 months back, I talked about seeing a 3-pointed flame coming out of a garden, levitating between me and the father of my son, just levitating, 3-pointed flame, and boom, and we both, what the fuck was that? I mean, so, and many of us have stories like that, who are starseeds, who are psychics, who are empaths. We've seen things. We've telepathically thought of someone or felt someone was going to be harmed, and bam, if it didn't happen. So it's not that this is not exciting, but it's not frightening. Because let me put it this way. Let me just put it to you in the best way I can. If it's going to harm you, you're already fucked. So you better get your head together anyway. You better get your heart in the right place, your head in the right place. Because if it's game over, lights out for any of us, best thing you can do at this point is to be in your highest frequency. The main thing here is to keep your frequency high, no matter what happens. No matter what goes down, you've got to keep your frequency at the highest level of love, trust, surrender. None of us are going to get out of here alive anyway. None of us. So there's no point in panicking. Really, you might think of it as a test of heart coherence, spiritual discernment, not allowing your brainwashing and your monkey mind to take over your heart coherence. It's kind of like a massive major exam. It could be your final exam. Meaning not final in your life, but final in terms of you could actually like blow through this exam, kick ass, and ascend. Could be that simple. Don't let people in the Alphabet Channel and the Brainwashing Coalition government harm your ability to discern this in your own. You don't need anyone's advice. They're great videos to look at. I've reposted some. Christina Bruna did go to New Jersey. She actually drove the 3.5 hours that it takes to get there. And I've been like kicking rocks thinking, maybe I should go there. And I thought to myself, why would I go there? Eventually they'll come here. I don't have to worry. So them. Look at the images. Some of the images are really, they're definitely not AI. There's definitely a pulsing energy. Some people, unfortunately, are grabbing those images, appropriating those images, and trying to create, they just want likes and views instead of really trying to figure out from a place of integrity what this is. They're trying to make as much money or attention or whatever as they can get, appropriating other people's videos. So, like I said, I saw him in Arizona over the ocean. If it's correct, maybe China even. And we're good to go. It's all good. And some people are doing video contents on 3 days of darkness. Honey, you can survive 3 days of darkness. I remember a couple times when New York City was blacked out for about at least 3 days. Don't you remember? In the 70s, I think it happened in the 90s. Didn't that happen? People survived. People have survived everything. Shit, you've survived COVID lockdowns. You've survived shit. So, again, like, take it in stride. Like, relax, chill out. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy it. What a show. What an incredible time to be alive. And the great thing about this time, unlike other times, like say 200, 300, 500, 600 years ago, you'd have people fucking sobbing, crying, screaming, going out of their fucking minds. It reminds me again of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, when Orson Welles in 1938 did his radio show, and people were fucking freaking out. Oh my God, the Martians are taking over. It's a famous radio show. Actually, it's infamous. So the facts are your heart chakra. Everything you really want to know is in your heart. And as long as you trust yourself to that level of unconditional trust in your heart chakra, not your monkey mind, you'll be fine. So whatever you feel you should do that. But the most important thing is do it from a place of relaxation and trust that you signed up for this before you incarnated, believe it or not. So panicking, biting your nails. I'm kind of sad because there's some influencers that really have the power to calm people down, and instead they're kind of, adding lighting fluid to the fire of anxiety. I am laughing though at some of the comments. So does that mean we don't pay our bills anymore? 10,000 likes. I'm not joking. This was a comment. Swear to God, 10,000 likes. So many of you don't give a fuck anyway. You're so tired of the 1% and their boots on your neck. You prefer a fucking alien invasion over anything else. At least it'd be interesting. So there is that. I do see you guys out there making those comments. See, this is the problem when somebody has nothing left to lose. They don't give one fuck what happens next. And the 1% have everything to lose. And many of us don't care. Our main concern is we want the new earth, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. We want the new earth. We want a 5D ascension. We want that more than your Gucci purse. We want that more than a mansion. And that, my friend, is what you have to hold on to. Keep visualizing the new earth. Keep thanking the entities, your light beings. Keep thanking them for their guidance, for their help, for their assistance. And don't worry about how it plays out. Because in the end, it's been written. You win. The meek shall inherit the earth, which really meant the peace lovers. The lovers of peace and beauty and harmony and generosity and balance of give and take. That's what they meant. So really sit back and, if we run out of power for 3 days, hopefully you have wood, neighbors, get to know your neighbors, be friendly. Time to introduce each other in your apartment building. Do some laundry, get some candles, you're good to go. And that's at the worst level. And I doubt any of that's going to happen. I remember when Y2K, I'll never forget, many of you weren't even, you were kids. Many of you were kids listening to me right now. But when Y2K was on the edge in 1999, people were freaking the fuck out. They thought the whole system, the infrastructure would collapse. And this was just about fucking networking systems and computers, for Christ's sakes. This is much more interesting. So, yeah, lots of meditations. Lots of connecting with your guides. Ask them what you should do. And hopefully what I'm saying is going to help your nervous system. And you're just going to be really relaxed. In fact, when shit that's really serious happens, the best place to go is in a state of absolute relaxation. Because that's when you're going to get the most guidance and you're going to make the right moves. The minute you tighten up, and you're tight and your nervous system's fucked, this is when you start making massive mistakes. So the best thing you can do is relax, do some pranayama, do a lot more meditations than usual. Do some micro meditations throughout the day, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Then maybe your 20-minute daily meditation, that kind of thing. And do your mantras. I've been doing Om, not because of this, by the way, but because of my own shit. My own, internal storm for my own stuff. So what I've been doing, just so you know, is Om. Now this is Durgaya. This is our Durga. And she is a feminine power that destroys obstacles and brings light. So it's Om Dum, D-U-M, Durgaye Namaha. So it's Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. So you can come up with that kind of mantra. The other one's Om Namah Shivaya, which again is a destroyer of obstacles. The main thing you've got to really kind of destroy is the obstacle of your monkey mind. Then after that, everything flows. And everything flows, everything grows, everything's a place of abundance. You're good to go. Life is good. And what you've wanted most comes into your hands. What have you wanted? Do you want to continue this system? I certainly don't. Do you? I don't. So, and really who's really freaking out is, trust me, they're scrambling. They're threatening to, shut down the government and all kinds of stupid ass shit that you and I both know comes from a place of avarice, cruelty, and not giving two fucks about your average man or woman or child on the streets of this country. Because you and I both know that if they really gave a fuck, they'd be pulling together they'd be out there until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning working their asses off for the American public. We've all pulled hours like that for basic jobs. These people won't even do it to help its people. So are you really surprised shit's flying in the air? And, orbs that most likely are angelic or high consciousness beings coming in with what's been going on in the last year, where they just literally dropped a bomb so loud in Syria that it fucking hit the Richter scale. Do you really think this can go on and on and on and on and on forever? Do you really think this is how spiritual law works? Of course not. There's tab, and it's to be paid. And we are the creditors. In other words, we are the people who we are owed to. In many, many incarnations, you and I have had what many would call mundane lives, but we are owed to. In many, many incarnations, you and I have had what many would call mundane lives, but we were healers, wayfarers, warriors, peace lovers, philosophers, poets, and we were harmed. Druids, high priestesses. I could go on and on. You get the list. And we were harmed for trying to help the collective every single time. That's why many of you are still muzzled in your throat chakra. That's why many of you don't speak your truth. You're afraid, you're embarrassed, you're afraid that you're going to look like an idiot. Welcome to the club. Most incredibly brilliant, cutting-edge people have looked like idiots in the beginning until everyone found out, oh, fuck, they were right. It's not about being right. It's not even about being, applauded for anything. It's about listening to your heart and doing the right thing for the greater good. And so if you have orbs, flying above your house, not drones, I'm pretty sure that you'll figure out that it's not coming from the right place. And so you can energetically deflect the drones. There are actually, I have an acquaintance who is a real ass Wicca. This is why I don't touch it, but it works. I know it works. There are people out here in the world that really know what they're doing. And she would do a crystal grid and remove it. So you can actually intend it. If you sit into your power and you have enough self-respect of your own innate power, being a multidimensional light being, if there's a drone over your head and you know it's not good, just intend it to move and to be removed, and it will be. If you see an orb, sit in meditation or stand upright, try to get as close as you can to it and beam your love. An orb, sit in meditation or stand upright, try to get as close as you can to it and beam your love and thank it with gratitude for being here. That's it. That's all you have to do. It really is that. It's actually that simple. It's that simple. Be in your love, be in your heart, be in your peace, and being in your power. Your power to reject what you do not consent to and to attract what you want. So if you start meditating like tonight, like I'm going to do a meditation after this live, and if you want to attract the orbs to you, they will be attracted by your frequency. Frequency matches frequency. They are here to right the wrongs, I'll tell you that, from what I'm seeing. Because I've been studying them. I have reposted some of them if you want to look at my reposts. And Christina Bruno, who I do respect, she does a lot about the Anunnakis. She's scholarly. She's a beautiful woman, very scholarly, very on point and passionate. And she drove and connected with a orb that had been over her friend's house for like a couple days. And sure enough, she said, I think she fell to her knees. It was very emotional in a good way, which is exactly what I said this morning. It will be extremely emotional in a good way. You might actually cry in tears of gratitude. The cavalry is coming, basically. And it's the 1% and your fabulous senators, Congress, all the malarkeys, all these assholes that have been fucking terrorizing not just the American public, but many people for years. It's I guess the jig is up, you know? So do what you got to do. Breathe. Breathe a lot. Do a lot of good deep breaths and look up on YouTube some good pranayama techniques, some good breathing techniques. Sage yourself, sage your house. Not because just for the hell of it, just to purify the energy so that what you create in this new space, that because we are moving through a force. And it's funny because when I was talking about the new earth, it could be that we actually see it. I know a lot of the people that I respect have been talking for a while that we would see the full golden age of this planet in 2032. And damn, that's around the corner if you really think about it. So there's going to be some processes that need to happen. But it could be that, in human mind, in the age of Chronos, time, that it's 2032. But from what I've understood from studying the Gregorian calendar as opposed to the Ethiopians, and they have 13 months in the year, we have 12, and shit like that, just crazy ass shit, okay, that really fucked us up in our internal clocks. Could be that we're already there, or we will be there, or 2032 is a completely the wrong date, but it's going to be a lot sooner than we thought, and it's going to be like damn near overnight, like damn, here we are, wow. So instead of being cynical, and this is really more for the cynics out there that only I'll see when I believe it. Well, damn, you sure have a lot to look at now. It's all here for you to look at. When Shirley MacLaine did her book Out on the Limb, which literally was a perfect title for the way she was witch hunted by every journalist, supposedly, and I use this loosely, and CNN, ABC, Larry King, all of them treated her like she was a complete idiot. But she was talking about lots of UFOs. There's tons of footages of UFOs coming out of Mexico and this and that. And orbs, we've seen orbs. Hopefully you have, but there are photographers that have been capturing orbs. The bodhisattvas are within orbs. From in Buddhism, the bodhisattvas, they're like these incredible sage beings, right? Am I wrong? In orbs. And what we're seeing is the mother of all orbs, like massive, like what Christina Bruna called. What did she call them? She called them she was breaking down all the different types of angels, because there are different angels. And she was talking about the angel that Ezekiel, which is the multiple eyes, the circles, the wheels that keep spinning. And there we have it. So if it's Project Bluebeam, let's just say just for the hell of it, let's just for giggles for a minute. So if it's Project Bluebeam, let's just say just for the hell of it, let's just for giggles for a minute, and they've really gotten good at creating shit in the sky, then you won't feel anything except anxiety. If you're in a good centered place in your heart, in your soul, you'll actually be able to discern, oh shit, that doesn't feel right. That feels really weird. It's no different than being on a date, honestly. And within seconds of sitting across with it, this is, it doesn't matter how good looking they are, you're like, or beautiful, you're like, this doesn't feel right. That's it. That's your sign. You don't have to explain it in your head. You don't have to try to discern, through your mind, your monkey mind, like calculations and all the options. Just, that's it. The feeling is, it doesn't feel right. Then that's your answer. It doesn't. And reject it. And then attract something that does feel right. But from what Christina Bruna said, and I really do respect her work very much, she said, if you see one of you will be in awe and you will feel really emotional in a good way. That's exactly a sign that whatever she saw was real. And when people say shit like, well, the government would never do that. The government's been doing that. In fact, governments have been doing a lot of shit behind our backs for hundreds of years. So, in fact, the Vatican is a government, technically. So, like I said, just do what you got to do. Get yourself ready energetically so you can discern, so you can trust what you're being guided to do. My only thing, I am not here to give you data, a proof. It's up to you. It's all in you. You are the captain of your ship. You are it. Don't listen to anyone else but you. Don't even listen to me. I'm just giving you like ideas on how to navigate through this, because the last thing I want you to do is panic and have anxiety. I see orbs after meditations. Of course you do, Michelle. I'm not even shocked. When I take photos of my son and he's in the right, I see orbs around him all the time. I've been seeing orbs around him since he was 8. So this is really, it's a high energy. It's somebody that's in a pure energy, in a pure state of joy or peacefulness. And you'll see, and orbs are attracted. They're laughing, they're giggling, they're fun. Now remember, in the Irish, right, had all kinds of magical fairies and little folk and this and that, and you might think I'm crazy. I believe in that. I believe that there was a point where we could see a lot of things. The fairy of the woods, the fairies of the roses, the flowers, a connection with the bees. I have an incredible love of bees, and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And how nature is pulsing with love and joy, and they've decided to take BOMBS and just use them at their fucking whatever the hell they want. We have no say in saying, what the fuck are you doing using booms, boom badimbas, wherever the fuck you want. Libya, Syria, playing with the weather, playing with tsunamis, playing with the Earth's core, fractal, and just never asking us, how do you guys feel about that? We're going to put a bill, you vote on it. Not Congress vote, or us voting on it, us. And the answer would be no. No fracking, no bombing oceans, no bombing countries. No, the answer is no. How's that? No. Isn't Hiroshima enough? Did you learn anything from Hiroshima? Oh, but it's another country doing it. I don't give a shit what country. It should be a no. N-O. So what we're doing to planet Earth, allowing that, is we are allowing planet Earth to be graped, since we're going to use fruit. Because God forbid we should use the correct term. You know how I get upset with this muzzling of fucking words that are evocative of deep emotions and trauma. But okay, let's call it grape. We are graping, and we have Pachamama, Mother Earth, Gaia, for centuries. And now it's gotten uncontrollable. Watch the movie Oppenheimer. What have we done? And so are we really shocked? And many of us, many, much more than 144,000, don't want this. We don't want this lifestyle. We don't want this process. We don't want the bullshit. We don't want this incredible imbalance of power, of wealth. Not because we don't want people to be wealthy, but because we don't want people to be living in fucking tents, eating from trash cans. In 1976, the bicentennial, I was living Pacific Palisades on a school bus. I'll never forget that. 1976, the bicentennial, I was living Pacific Palisades on a school bus. I'll never forget that. 1976, the bicentennial, I was living Pacific Palisades on a school bus. I'll never forget that. I remember I was on the school bus on my way home from school, looking out the fucking school bus window in shock, watching this old man eating an obvious can of dog food. Okay? So this shit's not new. We just have phones now. We've become the journalists of the planet. Every single one of us. We've become the editorialists, the satirists, the philosophers, the rebels, the poets, the filmmakers, every single one of us. And that's what it took. Because trust me when I tell you, that was shocking as a 14-year-old. And then I went to Hong Kong, and I could tell you more stories. But the point is, the level of disparity of wealth has become even more egregious, to the point where We have the numbers. We can't even say how many. We don't know because no one fucking knows. You know why? Because many of them have lost their ID. They're not even in the system anymore. They're not getting food stamps. They can't. No ID, you get no food stamps. Did you know that? They can't get housing. They can't get any emergency money. No, even though they're obviously American, even though, they don't have the money to get, it's a catch-22 in getting a birth certificate. My point is that we've been praying for this, meditating for this. And unfortunately, we can't trust our government for nothing. Look, Fauci, where is that little weasel? So we're coming to this incredible age, and you need to go into your meditations, sage yourself. You may even want to open the 4 corners above and below. It's a video I have under guided meditations. Go check it out. Learn how to do that. Master that. It's what shamans do before they give you ayahuasca, bufo, San Pedro. So I use it just to meditate. Believe it or not. Why not? So get really into your spiritual practice. You can get the right downloads, connect with your guides, ask them. Have you ever asked your guide? Show me. Can you show? I want to know what you look like. What is your name? Your monkey mind is going to slay you, but hopefully through the chaotic cacophony of your monkey mind, you'll be able to hear something, or at least see something, or feel the presence of your guide. But ask, and you shall receive, right? And believe me, I don't know why I am so not Christian. You have no idea. I lean more to the Hindu culture. I'm more into Buddhism if I was to choose any one religion, which I don't choose any of them. But that's a side note. Ultimately, don't run from this. Run towards it. Run towards this incredible invitation for a massive transformation. And again, go fiercely focus with incredible joy and love and gratitude to the new earth. Let it unfold how it should. I think really this little sideshow is really for the cynical people. It's for the cruel people. It's for the cynic. And I'm not saying cynics are cruel. But what I will say is they're all blind. Cynics are blind. Cruel people are blind. People who are greedy are blind. People who are dogmatic about their only my religion, are blind. So this is really a show more for them than I think for many of us who are aligned with something much wiser and older. Not that we're better. We're not better than them. We've decided not to be brainwashed anymore. That's the difference, really. We're not superior. There's no superiority. This is not a slinging contest. This is about consciousness. It's about, listen, I know there's something better, but whatever you're peddling to me, I don't want to buy it, right? So since we have many of them who only believe in their views, their point of views, right? This is how it's going to rip their idea of what reality is. It's going to completely rip it out of their hands, their little dogmatic hands. And they're going to have to reassess everything they thought was real. It's really for them more than for you. I hope you know that. All you have to do is sit, balanced, quiet, peaceful. In fact, you're probably going to get more relaxed once you realize the benefits of this. Much more than you think. So, whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't, doesn't. Whatever grows out of this is wonderful. We have more visibility now than ever. Yeah, because the veils are parting, and the veils are parting in ways. If I could tell you some of the shit I'm experiencing, which is really actually, I know the veils are parting. I'm telling you straight up. And so many of you who are wonderfully third eye opened, and you've been doing your decalcification of your pineal gland, and you've been doing your thing. This is an incredible time. This is what you've been praying for and you've been visualizing. And it's coming in a very soft way. Believe me, if they were here to really harm us, trust me, it'd be game over. They don't want to do an Atlantis. They don't want to do another deluge. Because it wasn't written like that. Not this one. This particular society, civilization, is for something brand new. And our golden age, the Satya Yuga, that me and Andromeda, we did a guided meditation last year. You may want to check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. And it's called Satya Yuga. Because everyone, oh, Kali Yuga, it's going to be Kali, it's going to be Mad Max, it's going to be Escape from New York. Why? Haven't we been taught about manifesting what we want? See, there are multiple timelines you can choose. You can go to the Mad Max, enjoy. Don't let the door hit you on the ass. Oh, you forgot your guns and bullets. Oh, well, that's okay. You'll find them on the other side. Meanwhile, we're crossing the other bridge. It's about choice, my love. It's about choosing what you want to experience. And when somebody panics, they choose the wrong things. Because what happens is the monkey mind trips over all the possibilities of fuckery and evilness and what could harm them. And at the end of the day, what's interesting, there was a movie called 2012, because that was the other panic attack. Everyone went, oh my God, the calendar's over. It's the Mayan calendar. It's ended. It was like people were fucking panicking. And I remember people saying to me, yeah, it's the end of the world. I go, yeah, as we know it. And then it became a thing, as we know. Yeah, no shit. None of us want this anymore. And so we've come to this place of, to such a level of, I don't give two fucks and beyond that. And whatever that means, even and I'm not being depressed as always, even crossing over would be more of a ride than this anymore. It's like the way they're squeezing us on groceries. It's winter, so let's up the charges to the winter. So, because you need electricity to stay warm, or else, you could be a popsicle by the end of tomorrow, right? But the fact that that's been allowed when we know Nikola Tesla had created and harnessed energy for it to be free. And this is what they decided to do with that incredible, brilliant mind. They destroyed that man. See, you got to really look at it. So for a long, long time, for the last 2,000 years, they have shown us what happens to our heroes. I've mentioned this in many of my lives. Go on YouTube. You'll check it out. And on all the lives I'll go, have you noticed they all lose? All our heroes, Robin Hood, Yeshua loses. Oh, well, he died for us. No, he ends up on the cross. It's not a win-win, okay? So there's all these things we've seen. Spartacus gets crucified. I mean, it's like fucking, it doesn't matter who they are. Braveheart, William Wallace gets this. I mean, okay, they all lose. And it's a message. It's called programming. So what you have to remember is that the prophecy of us winning is written. And that's why they're freaking the fuck out. Because they're like, we've been programmed. They've tried to brainwash us to become quasi Robin Hoods who will eventually lose because we've been programmed to lose. To think, it won't work out. I might as well give up. I'm not going to win. But we are going to win. And the frequency to the 1%, which again, I asked ChatGPT, what was the purpose? And I read it to you on one of the live, not all of it, but it's on my my YouTube channel under community. I've said this a couple times, so I won't say it again. This is my last time announcing it, but it's there. And I asked ChatGPT, why the 1% and the 99%? Why? What is the spiritual meaning behind it? And it said, because it's an exercise of community, 99%. It was about community. It was about unity. It was about going against the divide and conquer, no more racism, homophobia, bullshit, dogma with religions. My religion's better than your religion. My God, not your God. My God knows shit. Your God, my God. What do you get? Are you for real? And the beautiful thing about us believing in reincarnation is that we all know we've had many incarnations, and we've lived pretty much every religion you can think of, including some religions long forgotten, as I've said many times. So in it said also it gave the 1% the opportunity to do things for the rest, for the collective. In other words, to be of that level of power and wealth is a responsibility to handle the care of the 99%. It's their opportunity. And you and I both know they have failed miserably, because I mentioned way back in some of my lives when the Vanderbilts, even the Rothschilds, no matter what we think about them, which is absolutely correct, Rothschilds, Vanderbilts, Bechtels, all these people, right? All these MFers. The one thing you had to say to them, you had to give it to them. They had enough sense to open schools, libraries, hospitals, and and museums. Never forget that. They had enough sense to have a stipend. In other words, where they would cut 10 to 20% of their wealth to give back, to create a better civilization for the 99%. And these billionaires, we have more billionaires than we've ever had in our entire history, haven't done one fucking thing. Not one. When Maui, exploded, no one, Oprah didn't write out a check. She wrote $150 million for Kamala, but it never occurred to her to write a check for those people. The original indigenous people of that land who had owned that land for generations. Never occurred to her, but let me go out for photo op and with no makeup, and let's give out blankets. So that kind of imbalance is egregious in universal law. This is why we have the Galactic Council. I'm going to call it the Galactic, the Federation of Star Seeds and all kinds of stuff like that, okay? Because there is a responsibility to helping other starseeds on other planets understand the nature of who created them, the nature of community, and the concept of abundance, and helping people come to their light. People, sentient beings, whatever you want to call them, on other planets. That's why the Galactic Councils exist, for example, to help in growing souls, not human souls, souls all over the galaxies, into better beings, better, kinder, generous, responsible. And that's not what happened here. And we've all suffered for it in some way. And one of the things that I'm in love with, and now more than ever, is that when I do hypnotherapy for clients, they get to see their past lives on other planets, and it gives them a 180 perspective on what they thought they were to what they really are. And to see someone like sit back going, holy fuck, was that real? Yep. Was it real to you? The human mind's not that creative, especially sci-fi shit, meaning shit about other experiences on other planets. And I've talked about it a lot. You know why? Because I want you to really understand what that means. It means when you see yourself through the lens of a sentient being from another galaxy, planet, species, you can't unsee that within yourself. Because you experienced it yourself. You got to see what you look like. What color are you? Well, I look like I'm leopard, like this spots, like black and white, or I've heard orange and spots, or I'm matte black, or I'm blue, or I have pale white skin. I'm humanoid. Oh my God, I'm not humanoid. I have 3 fingers. Michael Newton wrote about that in his books, Destiny of Souls and Journey of Souls. And he reported, at least my trainer, the person that got me into hypnotherapy, said 30%. I'm seeing 80% of my clients are coming in going, holy shit. I remember past lives as an Andromedan on a ship. These people aren't meeting each other and they're reporting back similar experiences. There's no way. You could say, well, everyone knows about Andromedas being on ship. No, actually, not everyone does. Not everyone knows what happened. And there are species that have yet to be named that people are experiencing. I'll give you an example. I had a client who actually saw a race of people that were yellow-skinned, pale yellow, white hair. The women had long white platinum hair, gold eyes, white lashes, the whole bit. Yeah, I had a past life with my twin. And that was the first client in a hypnotherapy session who actually came back articulating that incarnation, and I recognized the race because I had been part of that particular species. That was crazy. And it literally it happened this year. My recollection was about almost 6 years ago. So what we're being asked to do, universally speaking, is to wake out of the complete amnesia of not realizing that before we were humans, we were something else. And some of us, all of us, began plasmically, meaning we were never in human forms. We were electricity, we were color, we moved with energy of how we felt. And to be in the material bodies was important for us to feel other things. Well, I mean, you understand that, right? You know how it feels to feel the wind on your skin, or to chew on something, or to hold something in your hand. And when you lose that ability to feel the wind on your skin, or to chew, or to hold because of paralysis, brain injury, whatever, you see the contrast, because now you can't. So imagine when you are first made, first breathed into consciousness, and you're plasmic, you're kind of like out there in various realms. You can't, with your monkey mind and mine, you and I are on the same boat, can't fathom into the levels of what that looks like and feels like. But then to experience ourselves in more, I mean, it makes absolute sense. We go into matter. Different types of sentient beings, not always humanoid, not always sexy, not always, oh wow, yeah, this is exciting. No. Sometimes it's not exciting. It's just a sentient incarnation that is made of silence, and that is not anything we recognize. And it's maybe our first foray into being in a sense of a body, if you will, in a physical form. And there are various levels of physicality. And in some cases, there are incarnated souls that actually can be plasmic, physical. Plasmic, physical. They can move. They can shapeshift in a way that's, and I don't mean they become lions and ducks and horses. I mean, they can just move in and out of being in the physical and then going back to being almost like, I would say see-through, for the lack of a better word. And that's a different type of reality for that incarnation, for that and the concept of aging is a collective issue in our 3D world. It's not something that people experience on the other side. People meaning souls, sentient beings. So really what we're seeing, and people that are scared right now, because they are, trust me, I'm hearing it in their voice. I'm not going to say who it was, but it's a very, very big influencer. She loves her chicken salad, and she said she was concerned. And so people who thought the world was always going to be like it was, and that they could rely on chicken salad and you know, running to the grocery store for mascara, shit like that. Yeah, and they didn't believe in anything else but that nothing else existed, that it was all woohoo, hokey pokey shit. Yeah, they're getting their ass kicked. So for some of you who woke up in 2018, some of you woke up, you were born, woke up, and you just awakened more and more with more knowledge, more conscious awakening. Some of you woke up 10 years ago, 15 years ago, for different reasons. And some of you woke up during COVID. And apparently even those people that didn't wake up during COVID, like still drank the Kool-Aid, like I guess they're getting an ass kicking and going, oh shit, what's in the sky? So hopefully that's not you. And so my message to you is to try to be that calm voice in the storm, because people are going to need you. Let me just say, they're going to need you. They're going to need you in ways that will shock you, and you will rise to the occasion. There's an alignment, there's a shift, there's a transformation. We've been begging for fucking years. Trust me, many of us have been begging, praying, meditating, manifesting. I've been doing 369. One of my sentences, one of my paragraphs is, I'm so grateful I live in the new earth. There's abundance for everyone. Everyone has love, health, and wealth. There's community, there's laughter, there's joy, and conflict. The conflicts are very minimal, and they're used and they're handled with such love and care and compassion and non-judgment. And people have said, that sounds utopic. That's never going to happen. And I have to turn to them and say, yes, but the world used to be like that. It was called Lemuria and Atlantis during the Golden Age. And there were pockets of places, and I've seen it in my own past lives, where I lived in places like Greece, ancient Spain, before Carthage was actually Carthage, where we would live in communities in peace. No warring nations, no Huns over the hill, no conquering coming in. Everyone was left the fuck alone to have their crops, have babies, see their grandchildren grow up, speak stories, play music, and create art in their own way. And many of us had those experiences. You could call that utopia if you want. But that's actually normal. You see, when people think that a world like that is utopic, and the world we live in with all of this strife and craziness, that's normal, as opposed to what I just described, you can see the sickness, the mental sickness of your average human being. Do you understand? It's not normal. What's normal is what I described, which many of you experienced in your past lives. And I think it's a haunting. I think those of you still listening to me, you know I'm telling you the truth. You remember it. Not maybe, like literally remember it, but your body remembers that feeling. And you had those incarnations on other planets, and that's why you're homesick. Because you know this is not it. You know that no one should be doing videos on how to make a Thanksgiving dinner on $20 going to the 99-cent store. You know, and I know it's fucking wrong. Bravo for the woman to do it. Fuck the government that's made women having to do that. It's wrong. It's wrong. On levels that there's no point in me articulating. Just telepathically receive that message, that image of having to do that, of making people so poor that they're fucking going to buy food at the 99-cent store. And if they can't do that, they're looking in garbages for Coke cans or food or cans and bottles. Old people carrying that shit to get $5 back for a pound or 2 pounds of trash. Is that really the normal that you want to accept? Because I'll tell you one thing. We didn't live like that 3,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago. It's not how we lived. We wouldn't have gotten Plato's and Aristotle's and guys like that if there weren't pockets of places in the world that didn't have that. And yes, you had guys like Alexander the Great, Philip of Macedon, Hannibal Barca, all kinds of guys coming in, kicking down doors. I get it. But there were pockets of places where that was never experienced. And before guys like that ran around the world fucking up shit because they wanted more land, there was peace. You know? And so we got to get back to that. That's what we deserve. You deserve it. The person right now sleeping in a tent with just one blanket and no pillow deserves it. The person that can't afford socks, going to work, trying to figure out how they're going to get the bus fare for tomorrow because they have to work even though it's, the weekend, looking for coins in their couch, trying to borrow money from someone. Yeah, everyone deserves a life of abundance, meaning of a balanced life that isn't stressed out so the person can't even fucking pray, meditate, learn their spirituality. They're so busy just surviving. It's barbaric, actually. It's not right. And so the globes out there, if they're really here to harm us, do you really think people who have nothing to lose give one fuck? They don't. They're asking for those aliens. I'm serious. There are people seriously mean, just fucking land, dude. Just land and fucking just end this shit so I don't have to pay one more bill. That's where people are at. And the 1%, I don't think, has realized the full intensity of the I don't give a fuck anymore. FICO scores, rent up the ass. $2,700 in California for a 1-bedroom. Are you fucking kidding me? This is insane. So, really, if I were you, I'd sleep like a baby tonight and enjoy yourself. Relax. Enjoy. Yeah. See if you can get an orb to come visit you. I'm not joking. Ask it to come into your dreams, your meditation, or even over your apartment building. Fuck it. Why? Because we need to graduate out of this shit show of 3D into 5D. And we have to come to a place of fearlessness, gratitude, joy, and acting as if we already have it. And these little uncomfortable moments, because other people around you are going to, lose their shit, just maybe even give yourself a break. Like move away from them for a minute, or try to calm them down. But you remember Airplane, the movie Airplane, where everybody were in line slapping the woman? I think it was a woman screaming hysterically. Watch funny movies. Get your globes come and orbs come around you when you're laughing, when you're at peace, when you're in meditation, when you're singing. Have you noticed? I don't know if you've ever studied orb photographs. Go ahead and go on YouTube, Yahoo, whatever, right? And look up pictures of people surrounded by orbs. Go look it up, and it's always beautiful. They're in the forest. They're somewhere. They're feeling good. They're getting married. Things like that. You'll see those pictures. They're extraordinary. I don't want to share my pictures of my son because they're personal, but trust me, he always has these big orbs around him. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. So, just go ahead and enjoy yourself. Just have a good time. Watch funny movies. Get your vibration high. Try to stay away from bullshit, and you'll be right as rain. All right? All right, my friends. Any questions or comments? Anyway, I feel the shift in energy. I'm now in flow, and he's doing and worried about stuff, and I'm not. Good. It's birthright. Exactly. I love. I'm literally feeling like I'm merging with my twin flame. Let me see. Anything else? Okay. So hopefully this has helped you. I want to send you so much love on your journey. We're almost there. It's almost, are we there yet? It's like kids in a car. Are we there yet? Are we there? Yeah, we're almost there. We're actually almost there. So just hold the space. Hold the space for the planet. Thank the energies. Call on your highest guides. Call on archangels. Call on protection. If you've never connected with Pachamama, Mother Earth, Bhumi, this is something I tell my clients to do, and I'm going to share this with you tonight. What I want you to do is go outside, okay, when you can, tomorrow, and if you live in a place there's no snow, I want you to give your obeisances to Mother Earth. Put your head down, your forehead down on her body, right? And speak to her. Introduce yourself. Thank her for being the body, the home that she's given you for all your incarnations as a human, and other species that came and visited, by the way, on the side note. Thank her, and then apologize for not seeing her as a sentient being. When you look in my calling on the four corners above and below, you might hear me talking about it when I'm on my knees, because I really do get on my hands and knees. If it's snowing, I would say put your forehead to a tree and feel yourself rooted, and your hands, your palms, no gloves, around the tree, your head, your third eye to the tree trunk, and basically talk using the tree as a conduit to Mother Earth, and do the same thing. And connect. And, you know, I refer to Pachamama as Pachamama Bhumi Gaia, the great mother, my auntie, my beloved, my sister, my grandmother. You have been my mother through these incarnations, and I never saw you, and now I see you, and I love you. And I'm so sorry I abused you and your children. But now I am your caretaker, your gardener, your protector, and I will always be that for you. And connect with her, and she will speak if you listen. She has a consciousness. It's telepathic, obviously, but you will hear her if you keep doing it. And then do the rest. You should look it up. It's on my playlist of guided meditations, and you'll see, I believe it's a blue face of a woman, a face of a blue woman. Go check it out, and then do it. If you can't do it and go outside for whatever reason, then intend it. Visualize yourself doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you will be surprised at how good that feels to do that. All right? All right. Sending you much love on your journey. Namaste. Be well.